All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We are back. I do apologize about that. Everything is smooth now. There we go. Clean, comfortable, and ready for action tonight. We apologize about that. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to give you the best of the best. So we are glad we caught that when we did. Before it got a little bit too late, if you're in here still, thanks for hanging around. Appreciate you chilling. Of course, if you're just tuning in, as always, American Stock Car Racing League Super Speedway Series takes on Talladega in the trucks. This is the first appearance for these guys in the trucks at Talladega and is not going to be the last. Of course, not a strong schedule. It's a super speedway. We don't have many to go to, but for these trucks, we will not see the trucks back into play until the playoffs, round of 12 at Daytona. And that will be the last appearance of the trucks tonight for 5 weeks. Well, 6 weeks, excuse me. The 7th week, we will be back in the trucks. Of course, next week, we go to the Gen 4s at Daytona. Xfinity and then Gen 6 following. So there's going to be some time before these guys get in these trucks again. That could be a difference maker here tonight. Of course, Talladega and Daytona are different when it comes down to it. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to maneuver at Daytona if they haven't had the opportunity to do it. Of course, looking now at pole times, Christian Rhodes gets the pole here tonight. Alan Hess in second. Eric Rodeman in third. Grayson Pate starting in fourth place. Rounding out your top 5 is Zach Stevens. Daniel Holloway in 6th. Stephen Alessi in 7th. Dylan Picklesimmer is in 8th. 9th and 10th place, rounding out your top 10, is going to be Chase Greer and Dalton Gibson. Now, just outside of top 10, the 11 in 11th, the 4 of Corey Rainey, Jeremy James in 12th, Todd Poston in 13th. Then, of course, you have Gary Breland, Kevin Leash in 14th, Gary Breland in 15th, Tyler Hurt sitting in 16th place, Chris Perry in 17th, Kyler Adams in 18th, and rounding out your top 20 is going to be Russ Hancock and Austin Morrill. Just outside of 20th is Trevor Yates in the 21st position, Robert McRae in 22nd. Then we have Joshua Riddle in 23rd, Matthew Wilson in 24th, Sam Taylor in 25th place, James Mandarood in 26th, Brianna Lauren in 27th, Brandon Matthews in 28th, Ethan Horst starting in 29th position, Matt Banky in 30th, Dalton Gregson in 31st, and Noah Davis rounding out the pack in 32nd position. One hell of a field. Lot of drivers here tonight. Good racing action, what you should see from start to finish, to be honest. If not, guaranteed, or your money back. Of course, as you guys know, first 25 laps are always ad-free. From green flag all the way to that 25th lap, we will be ad-free racing here. If you have the opportunity, make sure you subscribe to get all non-stop racing as we do picture-in-picture for our Twitch commercial breaks. And if you have Amazon Prime, you have 1 free sub a month, so don't forget to use it. Pace truck is off. Here we go. You guys know what I want you to play in Twitch chat. Good old DW. In the restart zone. Green out. It's time for some racing action. Looking at the field right there in the blimp cam. A big field tonight for these guys here to maneuver through. It's been that's been the norm here. Normally 30 cars, and it's a good showing, especially for the first season here for the Super Speedway Series. But now it's a lot of cars to have to maneuver through. More cars in an official session. Of course, normally that stops at about 22, so 10 cars more than what an official session would be. But of course, a lot of these drivers are acclimated to that. This isn't the only league they run, but still having to maneuver multiple different leagues, multiple different skill sets. It is a challenge, not for all, but for some. So now here is the biggest tale. Who is going to be able to do the most, the best, and the cleanest? Rodman in the lead right now over Christian Rhodes. He is in second place in the Ram. Then, of course, Zach Stevens in third. We actually have radios on for the drivers. That is not a good thing. We're going to have to get that fixed. Hopefully drivers don't say nothing crazy for the first 25 laps, because I'd hate to break the fourth wall to do it. A little bit of contact up there in the front. You see, we're still on the blimp cam right now rolling. Caution is out. Caution is out. We're going to show you that caution, but give me a second. Let me turn this radio off so we don't hear any more cursing. We're going to throw it to an affiliate ad real quick, and we'll be right back.
Collectibles, your pit stop for premium collectibles. We specialize in authentic 118, 124, and 164 scale diecast cars from top brands like NASCAR, NHRA,
Where's that
Hot
Bass Pro
Wheels,
at?
ERTL, GMP, and Ottawa. From rare chase pieces to limited edition releases. But we are more than just diecast. Explore our curated section of retro video games, action figures, and hard-to-find collectibles that fuel nostalgia and passion. Live on Whatnot for heart-pounding bidding wars and instant deals. Can't make the stream? Be sure to follow us on Facebook for previews of upcoming shows at VMT Collectibles. Once again, that is VMT Collectibles.
All right, we're good now. We fixed everything. Apologize if you guys heard some language you shouldn't have heard. That is why we don't roll with the radios on. First caution in the night out. Let's go ahead and see if we can figure out where it's from. Probably about mid to back of the pack. Oh, there it is in the back of the field, too. This is the 01 of Matthew Wilson. Got a big hit there. One car around. You know what? I'm missing camera settings too. We're just going to break the fourth wall real quick. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, we're not missing camera settings. We broke the fourth wall for nothing. Shame on me. Camera pack not loaded up. It'll be all right. Course right now, first caution out. Christian Rhodes in the lead at the time of the caution. Pits will be open this time. We'll probably see a lot of guys go down. Just a splash, little splash of gas here and there. 15 laps per fuel run. And as always, since it is 100 laps, we will get that first stage break at 50. That's why it says stage 1, 50 laps. Eric Rodeman, Alessi, and Yates. One of the 3 cars to stay out. Gregson also staying out. Everybody else joining us back on track right now did pit. Right now, your top 5, Rodeman in the lead, Alessi in second, Yates in third, Christian Rhodes in 4th, Corey Rainey rounding out your top 5. It's still early, chat. Put your choice, your driver picks, in the chat. Who do you think is going to win it tonight? Oh, and as always, do not forget about the GoFundMe that is still active. If you type in !GoFundMe, it'll bring it to, it'll give you a link. If you are able to donate, we do appreciate it. That is to help a little girl fight her battle against leukemia. All proceeds go directly to the family. That link is now pinned in the chat. If you're just joining us first, Caution of the Night came out pretty early. Was the 0-1 of Matthew Wilson, who is now regained on the field. We'll go ahead and show you that one more time. Wilson got one hell of a bump there. Thought he was clear low, just couldn't get down there fast enough. And the 0-1 of Wilson had to pay for it. Back on the field, though. Fast repair gone, most likely. That's an unfortunate part of the situation for him. Having to use that fast repair early will kind of kill a lot of your momentum moving forward now. If it does come out again, or you are involved in that caution again, kind of takes you out of the loop. It's really going to hurt. Hopefully not having any more incidences for him tonight. Of course, time will tell. There's still a lot of laps that need to go before we can tell if any more wrecks are going to happen. First one happened pretty early on. We're only at lap 5 now. Of course, happened about lap 3. 2.5 to 3. Now, choose cone was done that time by. We will be back green this time. Rodeman, Alessi, side by side in the first line. In the restart zone, we go back green. Rodeman holding a good lead on the bottom side. A little bit of a breakup in that pack. A lot of space between these trucks from about 7th position back. You're seeing it right there. It's about all the top 10, about the top 10 linked up. Gregson leading the secondary pack right there on your screen. I believe with Sam Taylor not too far behind, Poston as well. They are slowly now regrouping with this lead pack as Christian Rhodes takes it back on the high side. Rhodes and Picklesimmer, we saw them have a dominant week last week until it ended. Their dominance wasn't reigning all the way through. Picklesimmer in a few accidents, pretty heavy one last week, as well as Rhodes. Now they're trying to regain that resurgence from both of them on the top side right now. They're doing really good holding that line. Of course, you just saw a little bit of a 3 wide, not too far behind. Pretty early on, and we're already wanting to fight. Now looking behind these top 2 drivers is a slew of drivers. The first 4 lines are already 3 wide, getting all the grooves on the track to work early on. Not something I expected to see. All right, I had to test it, make sure everything's working. It is working. Now Zach Stevens in the lead, Corey Rainey in second, Dalton Gibson in third, lap 10. That time by. Who is going to hold on to the lead for as long as they possibly can? Of course, here being a lottery track, you're not going to expect the same person to be able to hold on to it the entire time, let alone get the win by leading all the laps. Sitting in front is actually a disadvantage. It gives you the clean air in front, but you also lose all of that draft assistance for your fuel mileage in the back. Now, looking at the 17th position car, 18th now, of Chris Perry, the 34 on your screen. He has possibly the best gas mileage with the rest of the guys behind him as well, as he is in a big draft pack there. So not really having to stay in throttle much. Almost an accident early on there, going to the apron to avoid it. A little bit through the grass. Managed to recover it. Pretty good. That was Rodman as well. Rodman now back in 31st, really far off pace. That's going to hurt stage 1 for him unless another caution comes out. Tell you what, Zach Stevens. Another Ram on the field. Doing pretty good at holding his position right now. Stevens already up 4 positions where he started. Mandarud up 21 currently. Highest mover so far in the top 10. Close second is McRae. Huge crash in the backfield. Second caution of the night out. Following Daniel Holloway now, you see the wreck just slowly developing in front. That is definitely the big one. Early on to lap 12. Cars still wrecking on the infield. You see it slowly develop just in the top. Too much contact not being squared up on that bumper will do that to you. And just the carnage of it all. Two drivers slamming the infield wall, one going back up on track, not wrecking anybody. At the time, or as of now, Zach Stevens is in the lead. At the time of the caution, he was your leader. Corey Rainey moves up to second now. McRae in third. James in fourth with Mandarud rounding out your top five. Holloway, Riddle, Poston, Taylor, Gibson, Horst, and Perry all in that accident. I feel like Perry got the worst of it as he did actually have to get towed off of the infield. I believe Perry was one of the cars that, dove onto the inside wall most likely. No, he is destroyed. Tough break. Of course, Stevens still in the lead. Banky now in second place. Or falling back. Okay, so Corey Rainey in second. James still in third. Grayson Pate now up to fourth. Gary Breland rounding out your top five. Just outside that top five, as you can see, is McRae, Mandarud, Alessi, Leash, and Riddle for your top 10. Interesting top 10 here. All ranging in different skill levels, all ranging in different driving styles. You got to wonder how this restart's going to go for Stevens. Will Stevens actually be able to hold this lead long enough? I mean, he's had it so far. Of course, this caution has kind of put a damper on it. He has led only 5 laps right now. Going through our top 5, Rainey has not yet led a lap. James has not led a lap yet either. Of course, neither has Grayson Pate or Breland. So the only person within this top 5 right now is Zach Stevens with the most laps led out of this top 5. Of course, lottery tracks always throw curveballs you don't expect to be thrown. New leaders, Rex, position swaps, position changes, and just dominant teams all throw wrenches in plans. Now definitely looking forward to see how this restart's going to go for the guys on the track. Will it be a comfortable one? Will this be difficult? Will they have, hopefully not, another caution pretty early on into this restart? Going back green, this time by on Zach Stevens. Pace truck off. Stevens takes us back to green in the restart zone. Once we get there. Green flag back out. Stevens with a good start. Baraney able to jump the gun just a little bit. Edges out over Stevens, but not enough to get the lead right now. Now it is a dogfight for first place. Rainey able to advance over Stevens on the top side. Now gets first place for himself. Jumps down low. The 7 just barely got himself in there cleanly. Almost had a possible another caution right there between Pate and Stevens. Lap 16 out of 100. Still a lot of time left in this one. Looking at Chris Perry, the 34. He is in 32nd position now. He is regained on the track. Of course, towing it, using that repair, going a lap down most likely. I believe he's the only one a lap down, so if another caution does come out, he will be fortunate enough to get his lap back. Hancock in pits still at this time. I mean, just look at this mid-pack racing here. A lot of single file on the bottom side. Not many people wanting to go to the high side early on. A lot of wiggling, though. It's where a lot of your cautions come from. Instability within the corners. Randy's still in the lead right now, about a 0.5 second gap. Not too far. Of course, the draft track isn't going to be that race to be able to put a lead on somebody like that. Paying attention to this 3 wide still in the middle of this front pack. They're not doing too bad. There's about 4 cars on that outside lane doing a 3 wide. They're losing a lot of momentum there now. The third line has practically dissolved itself into the second line, and everybody's practically dissolving themselves into that low line. The longer this race goes on, you see that long line slowly stretching out little by little. 3 cars still trying to make that outside line work. The outside line's a tricky one. You don't get much room to the ball. And then, of course, that second line being there, if someone wiggles out, it's going to put you in the wall. It's going to cause you to lose a lot of time. And then the third, if somebody wrecks, normally that's where your wreck washes up to. So it's a little bit of a challenge. You don't want to be in that top line, but normally that top line is what works the best. So you kind of have to either dodge the bullet or bite it. There's no in between. Back up to the front now. Rainey in the lead. He's doing a good job holding that lead as well. Right now he has led 5 laps. Definitely trying to do what he can to hold off until a green flag pit cycle. Only about 15 laps in these tanks gas wise, so the drivers are going to have to come in for at least a full tank to finish the next green flag stint. About 2 more green flag stops until the end of the stage. Now it's practically all single file for the top 10. Pate still confidently sitting in second place right now. And you see how close all these drivers are to each other. Everybody holding pretty consistent lines right now. Not really worried about passing for position. Knowing we at least have 2 more green flag pit cycles. Practically single file line now. Only a few cars trying to gain a position or so on the top side. You really see it's not working right now. Even with side draft, it is very difficult to have to pull yourself in that situation as an underdog. When I mean underdog, not just the car itself, just the line configuration. The fact that there's not many cars in that line that can only go up so far, even using side draft. Yes, it is possible for any of them to take the lead that are trying to run that high side, but it is going to take a lot for either car to get there. And of course, Rainey just doing a fantastic job with the rest of everybody up here in the top 10. Doing a fantastic job to keep it all in momentum. Rainey got it good right now. Not really having to worry about anything. Lap 25 out of 50. Halfway through stage 1. Still a lot of time left to go, too. Green flag pit cycle is coming up shortly. A lot of wiggling up there in the back behind the leader. Now Pate trying to make something shake on the outside lane. Gets the lead away from the 4-car of Rainey. Stevens going to move up there with him. Greer now in 3rd. Rainey falling all the way back to 4th. Can't let the cars get in. Little bit of a situation back there on the apron. Believe that was Kevin Leash. He was able to rejoin safely. That's a shocker to me because it definitely looked like a wreck was going to come. Looking at this secondary pack right now, they're not too far off. Leash back down onto the apron again. Oh, no, that's not Leash. Hancock and... Looks like Hancock back there, stacked up. Wilson in pits this time. That was Brandon Matthews that had fallen all the way to the back by himself on the apron. Chase Greer now taking the lead. Still not much of a lead as they are still in a dogfight for it. Corey Rainey, the only one on the outside, trying to make it work for himself. Lap 29 now, this time by. And it is a solo 4-car on the top side, trying to hold a position. Has to jump in soon if he doesn't want to lose it all, or keep using the side drive and try to get those positions back. Lap traffic in the way. Almost just hurt the leader's time there. And another caution out. Breland around. Same situation we've seen before. Not squared up on the bump. And it causes the wreck. Third caution of the night. Lap 29. While these drivers go to pits, we will be right back.
Come on, guys, eat your food. Let's go.
I want to taste your banana pudding. You taste my banana pudding.
It's on. It's on.
I was going to say, will you marry me?
Is my makeup
Cellular can help people save on their cell phone bills. That's why I cut my car in half. This year, let's cut even more things to show people how much they can save. Let's cut the face off of our helmets. Let's cut the top off of our steering wheel. Let's even cut our hats.
Isn't that just a visor?
Shut up, Chris. Great. Can't wait to see what y'all come up with.
Get your second month free with Consumer Cellular.
We are back. Lap 32 right now, under caution. Tough situation there for that caution to be pulled out, of course. Wasn't an intentional one. Same situation we've seen all night so far. Just a little bit of too much contact going into a corner. Gary Breland now rejoining the field. We'll show the wreck one more time. Now Breland rejoining the field. Picklesimmer in first place. Pate, Picklesimmer 1 and 2. Pace car will be off this time. Green flag back out now. Pate in the lead. Picklesimmer in second. Jeremy James in third. Greer now in fourth with Robert McRae in fifth. See these drivers trying to run this high side already. One going all the way up to the third lane. Possibly not going to make it work. Joshua Riddle now in between both packs, trying to catch up to the front pack. Now wanting to fall to the rear of that front pack too hard, as he'll have to fall his way all the way to the second pack to regain a lot of speed. Still should be in draft though, so it might be a few more laps or a few more corners, but he should regain with him as he does already. That just shows you how strong that draft effect is here at a restrictor plate. Grayson Page still currently in the lead now as we are following 22nd position of Dalton Gibson. We are letting the camera guys bounce around here, showing you all different drivers and all different areas on the track. We'll pop up the nameplate on the bottom, so you know who we're following when we do. Now, of course, Page still in the lead. 15 left to go in stage one at this point in time. Only 2 stages here. Technically, stage 1 and stage 3. But a break at lap 50 for the drivers. So it's not 100 laps of straight endurance. Still have a lot of time left to go for the entirety of the race. Just a little bit over a quarter of the way through. Someone we haven't seen in a little bit. Trying to find him myself. Zach Stevens. He's now in 7th place. You saw him lead 7 laps earlier. Pate now in the lead. He's led 8. Rainey had the lead for a while. He led 11. Pickle Simmer has yet to lead a lap fully. Now should be his opportunity. Rainey moving all the way up to 2nd. Greer now down to 9th. McRae with a move to the inside. Now McRae locked on the rear bumper of Pickle Simmer, pushing him. You see the huge secondary pack now coming through the back end. Lot of wiggles in this pack. Lot of wiggles, almost a caution in the rear. More laps to go in stage 1. Rear pack has to be mindful of everything here. If these guys went single file and didn't fight each other for position, they possibly could have already caught that front pack. Front pack not too far out of sight. It's all just about comfortability with these lines. We're seeing a lot of maneuvers that could hurt in the long run. Breland a little unsteady there. Christian Rose having to really dial it back in and try to catch back up. Teammate of Pickle Simmer all the way in the lead right now, with 11 laps left to go. Top 5 position as of right now goes to Corey Rainey, who is fighting with no draft on that high side, other than the 12 of Riddle pushing from behind. Looking at this front pack, not many cars left in there. Secondary pack getting smart. They're all going single file now. Still got a few fighting on the top side, but not as many as we did just a few laps ago. 10 laps left in stage 1. Pickle Simmer currently in the lead. Will he be able to hold it for the long run? Going back up to your leaders. 2 cars of lap traffic in front. They should catch here soon. Hopefully they don't catch him though, because that is going to cause a lot of commotion with these guys trying to run a high line. I mean, of course, not too much if they stay to the top side of the track by the outside wall. Really shouldn't be much of a negative effect to the drivers, but of course, probably they could also not be very comfortable driving on that side of the track or that high up on the track, so it could cause problems if they do catch them. We'll see what actually happens. Hopefully it'll stay green. Pickle Simmer still in the lead. McRae pushing good on the bumper right now. Rodman in third. Rainey still holding on to fourth now, with Riddle behind. Rainey now advancing his way up to third. That top side line side draft is actually benefiting. We're seeing a break between second place car now and Pickle Simmer's bumper. Could possibly be setting up for a run here to the outside to try to take the position himself. Oh, little squirrely there, had to back off. Lap traffic on the apron there. Some cars didn't trust driving down that low. Got a little wiggly, but everything's still clean and green. 6 more laps to go. Pickle Simmer in the lead. A lot of lap traffic around them now. Leash entering pit lane that time. Rainey doing everything he can with only one car drafting behind. He touched second for a split second. Now is door to door trying to do it all over again. Rainey comfortably holding second place right now. Side draft pushing him up just a little bit there. You see him slowly nosing out, edging the position. Rainey currently in the lead. Pickle Simmer looks to be going in pits now. Robert McRae, Pate, James, Roddeman, Taylor, Morrell, and Rhodes all in pit this time with 4 more laps to go. And you see a wise decision from the 4 car, stay in the draft while he falls back. Used as much draft as he possibly could before he dove back low so he didn't burn gas on the high side with clean air. Comes in this time by 2. Now, of course, Pickle Simmer, the first one of the first few to go in, should cycle himself to the lead now. These guys still in their pit stalls. Simmer definitely going to be able to pass and get the lead left with 3 left to go here. These guys are not going to be up to pace. Here comes Pickle Simmer. Passing Riddle. Now passing Rainey. Taylor and Simmer trying to make it work. Greer 2.16 seconds ahead. Two more laps to go now. They technically need to lose a second a lap to be able to catch up to the leader, Zach Stevens. Zach Stevens and Chase Greer locked up. It is a Ram top 4 right now. Pickle Simmer not going to be able to do it. 1.72 from the leader. And now a lot of drivers around him. Last lap around now for the stage. Greer gets the pass on Stevens. Greer just barely gets the pass on Stevens to take the stage. 50 laps over, 50 more laps to go. And while we do that, these drivers are going to be in pits. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go nowhere. We will be right back.
Got a great car, great team. Go execute.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day, be in victory lane.
Don't count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
What a victory this will be.
Next flag is going to hit.
Does he have enough? Let's go. A dominant performance. They're going to say no, baby. Let's go.
You gotta earn this thing.
It is all on the table.
We are back from commercial break. Just saw an insane finish for the first stage. 50 more laps. We can call it quits for the night. Not many cautions right now. It's actually been pretty good for these drivers. Of course, looking at your race recap right now, we've had 4 cautions for 11 laps, 9 lead changes. Dalton Gibson is going to be your leader. at this restart, this time by 81 degrees, 47% humidity here tonight. Now it's going to be a Dalton Gibson, excuse me, and a Gary Breland 1-2 restart. All drivers are slowly closing down those gaps, getting in their correct positions, warming up those tires, and getting ready to go green. Only 3 people not on lead lap. Brandon Matthews, Chris Perry, and Russ Hancock, if I do believe, are all still a lap down. Getting ready to go green. Pace truck off to start the next 50 laps will be Dalton Gibson in the restart zone. Green flag back out now. Gibson with a good jump there to hold the lead strong after that restart. Little bit of a block there, having to go back down to hold the position. Greer already getting a good run on the outside. And already three wide racing in the front pack already. Not even a lap into this restart. Everybody already wants their positions back. Corey Rainey locked up with Greer there, just pushed Greer to the lead. Now fighting for a lead position himself. He gets it too. The question is he clear to come down? He's way clear if he wanted to. Pate said he'll take it. He dives low, gets around Rainey, now is in the lead. Rainey has the advantage on the outside right now. Outside is a good line to run. You don't really have much to worry about. You get a lot of side draft, especially if it's 2x2, 3x3, and then of course you get the draft from in front of you. Of course, he is the lead car of his pack, so he's not getting any draft from in front, which will hurt fuel mileage. Maybe why we see him hugging side draft a lot there. And another caution out. .47 is Zach Stevens that time. Early caution on. Only 7 laps into stage 2. Tyler Hurd scored as the leader that time. Almost the entire field into pits. Rainey gonna beat them all out though. Claim first back for himself. So Corey Rainey, Tyler Hurd, Banky, Morrell, and Pate will round out your top 5. Of course, just outside the top 5 right now. In 10th place, McKay. 9th place, we have Morrell right now. Noah Davis in 8th. Christian Rhodes in 7th. Pickle Simmer in 6th. Now slow pacing around till we can get choose cone. Some drivers opting to go back in. Looked like Rainey was going to be taking an EOL, but looks to be he got off the track because he doesn't want to get rear end damage. That's probably a wise move. Of course, pace truck lights are off. We'll be back to green this time. Now, as we come around back to the restart, pace truck is going to be coming off this time by. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It is allergy season, and it is kicking my butt today. We're still here for you, the fans. Corey Rainey in the restart zone goes back to green flag racing. Corey with a good jump now, still holding the lead. Top side coming pretty strong now. Sam Taylor in the lead now, Pickle Simmer in second. Rhodes up to third place, and they're having a 3 wide. Sam Taylor still in the lead right now, doing pretty good at holding on strong. Pickle Simmer in second, excuse me. Now see, this is something we haven't seen much of tonight. This top side actually getting a pretty good run. A lot of cars now wanting to go in the top side, but if it's the same as normal, we're going to see the guys on the top side get all of their cars clear and then shoot down low and then make everybody on that top side restart. So while it looks good, it might not last long. We're going to have to pay attention to see that for sure. Now, of course, top 3 is all Rams right now. They're holding on to the top 3 pretty strong right now. Taylor still holding on strong to this lead here now. Don't think the Ram teammates are really going to try to go around. It's that bottom line he's going to be weary of now. But it seems like that top side has found out the trick. Because they are moving. They are burning. And they are turning with little to no extra anything about it. It's hard for these drivers to keep up to at least even the second place car in this back right here. Lap 64 and a half right now. Going on to lap 65 out of 100. We are almost 3/4 of a way done with this race here tonight. Taylor holding on strong to that lead right now. Will it last forever is the biggest question. Of course, 3 teammates. Zach Stevens again. What a nasty push from behind. Once again, the same pushes, just not being too mindful of the gap in front. That is almost the 5th time we've seen that today. Now moving forward, Taylor still out. Don't know if he's going in. I mean, he won't have enough to make it right now anyway. Well, there's the question answered. Taylor and the rest of the gang into pits, this time by I believe that is almost the entire field. The whole field into pits, other than Russ Hancock, who now gets his lap back. So he'll go into pits once he gets his lap back. So the entire field choosing to pit there. Of course, Christian Rhodes is going to be your leader out of pit. Sam Taylor in second. Pickle Simmer in third. Holloway now in fourth, with Robert McRae in fifth. Tyler Hurt in sixth, just outside of the top five. Mandaroot in seventh. Rodman in eighth. Breland in ninth. And Grayson Pate rounding out your top 10. Going for this restart, we should be back green at lap 68. Of course, it's going to be an interesting finish to this race now. All drivers avoiding pits. That's going to be a big shakeup because you're going to have one on the outside now, two on the inside. So it's going to be the fight to watch here. See if they let that one car jump to the inside or if there's a fight for position. And this time we are back green in the restart zone. Green flag back out. Christian Rhodes in the lead. Now Rhodes, Taylor, Picklesimmer, 1, 2, 3. I don't really think this pack right there is going to really let anything get past them. High side once again burning and turning pretty early on. Everybody's starting to realize now high sides, it's where the best lines, where the best runs are. It's where the least amount of tire wear is. Christian Rhodes still in the lead. A lot of drivers still trying to make it work for them. Now looking at Tyler Hurd, he's sitting in 4th place. Not much maneuverability you can really do here, especially when you have a team controlling the front of the field. They are practically 3 wide now to do it. Picklesimmer back in the lead. 30 laps to go. It is going to be a nail biter here. Of course, we still have a lot of racing action left to go. Who will get the win is the biggest question here at Talladega. Stick around and find out. We will be back.
trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down at the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Now, of course, caution out while we were at commercial break. Brianna Lauren involved in the wreck. 7 in the wall. That's Grayson Pate. Technically what started the entire situation. Just a little bit too much contact from those drivers. See, the 7 got hooked. Wasn't even the initial situation, but ended up getting hooked and got sent into the outside wall. Brianna, unfortunately, had really nowhere else to go and was in the middle of that situation there. Luckily, no one else. Nobody else hit Pate. Breland took a nasty crash too. Stephen Alessi as well. Brianna Lauren back up on track. 25 more laps left to go. Rhodes currently in the lead. Daniel Holloway in second. Tyler Hurt in third. Yates in fourth with Horst in fifth. Of course, it hasn't been the worst race for these drivers, but it has still been challenging. That Rhodes and Holloway going to be 1 and 2 here. Rhodes will be taking us to green flag this time by in the zone. Looking at these top 5, there's a lot of hungry drivers up here that really haven't had an opportunity to hold the lead. Now with laps ticking away, there's more of an opportunity to see a little bit more aggression than what we've already seen here tonight. Moves that you normally wouldn't make unless a win is on the line, which it is. Green flag back out now on Christian Rhodes. Now Rhodes holding the lead strong. Outside line looks like it's going to be a churn-in. Not as good of a start this time as it has before. Of course, drivers still having enough time to catch up. It is practically almost all single file. Now you're seeing some cars jump up on the top side, maybe for a few positions. Might leave that top side high and dry. If they see a hole, they're able to jump in if they think that top line ain't moving nowhere. Beautiful view of the track in the sky. Rhodes still holding on strong now. 21 laps to go. Who has the momentum? Who has the edge? Of course, lottery tracks are very unforgiving. Another crash out on the field. Stevens, Taylor, Warren, Matthews, all involved in that crash. Tough situation here for these drivers. Doesn't really seem like we can get a good green run here at the end of the race. 3 more laps going to be killed off due to caution. We're at lap 80. We now have 20 laps to go. We will be coming back with 17. I mean, at this point in time, the biggest question is who has the strongest footing on the track within the top 10? I mean, as we've seen, it's been very difficult to gain positions and gain time off. Top line has a good run, but you're just not seeing much commitment up there for it to actually make a difference. As soon as you do see that commitment and it pushes the leader of that line to the front, they just go down. You lose it anyway, so it's going to be a little difficult here for some of these cars to maneuver, try to get as many positions as possible. I mean, it's still possible, but your risks are heightened a lot more with as much traffic as we have on the track. Trevor Yates now in the lead. Eric Rodman in second. Gregson in third. Holloway in fourth. Rhodes now rounding out your top 5. Eighth caution of the night coming to a close soon. Course choose cone. And we are back for green flag racing. Now 8th caution wrapping up now, choose cone. Yates. Gonna be the control car, the 71 on the top side. Not much more to go around before the end of this race starts kicking off again. Drivers praying to keep it clean and green. Rodman. Yates, line 1. Holloway, Gregson, line 2. Green flag back out. Yates in the lead. 17 more laps to go. Daniel Holloway up into second now. Rodman in third. Is that top line going to start lining itself? Single file to try to catch the rest of that front pack. Now Holloway in the lead. It's looking pretty good here right now. 16 laps to go. It's pretty single file out throughout the field right now. Still a couple 2x2s. Not many 3 wides like we were seeing earlier on. You see one there in the back of your screen right now. I mean, it's pretty far-fetched. There's actually 2 active 3 wides right now on the track. Of course, this track made for that, so it's nothing too serious to have to worry about here. Holloway currently in the lead. Tyler Hurt in second place. A lot of wiggling on the track. Some of these guys still going in 3 wide right now. Holloway really not getting contested on the bottom right now. No one really trying to go to the top side to try to overtake him. Still a good amount of time left, though. Have to be mindful. We're gonna see late moves here no matter what. You just gotta wonder who's gonna be the first one to make the move and when. And another caution out. Noah Davis that time for the caution. Pickle Simmer also involved in it as well. got caught back out. Christian Rhodes. Now Tyler Hurt is going to be your leader because of that caution. Now, pits are going to be open for the 9th caution. Lap 88 as they go into pits this time. They're going to cross the line in pits for lap 89. This is kind of exactly what I expected to happen. The longer you go through some of these pit cycles, the crazier it will get. Now Morrill going to be in the lead. Holloway in second. Horst in third. Hurt in fourth place. Choose cone this time by the line. This time by will start lap 90. Now Morrill and Holloway are going to be line one for the restart here. How many more restarts do we have on the night, or could this be the last one? Wilson and Hess out for the night on the tower. Possibly a few more drivers as well. See Davis and Picklesimmer in pits still. Unfortunately for them, their night is most likely at an end. If they do come back out, they will be laps down. Not in contention for the win. Green flag back out now. Number 2, Morrill in the lead. Everybody's saying double file this time. No one really going too extra. Not much happening right now. Everybody trying to keep it green. Holloway has the lead on the outside. A little bit of a break off in the rear of the field. 9 to go. Holloway doing good on the outside. Hurt now past Morrill as well as Hancock. Top side burning right now. Big breakups for the rest of the field. Everybody either waiting for the caution or just kind of falling off pace, not wanting to be too close. Another spin. Caution out. With that caution out, we will probably be back to green with about 3 to 4 laps to go. We're going to go to a quick commercial. We will be back.
Guys, eat your food. Let's go.
I want to taste your banana pudding. You taste my banana pudding.
It's on. It's on.
I was going to say, will you marry me?
Is my makeup messy? Yes, it's messy.
cellular, help people save their cell phone bills. That's why I cut my car in half. This year, let's cut even more things to show people how much they can save. Let's cut the face off of our helmets. Let's cut the top off of our steering wheel. Let's even cut our hats.
Is that just a visor?
Shut up, Chris. Great. Can't wait to see what y'all come up with.
Get your second month free with Consumer Cellular.
We're back now. 5 more laps to go after that last caution. It is gonna be a tough one. It's gonna get a little bit more difficult for some of these drivers, as now the laps have just been told away here with a few cautions at the end. Now it's literally going to be a green-white checkered attempt next time in the restart zone. Daniel Holloway in first right now. Tyler Hurt in second. Yates in third. Hancock in fourth. And Rodman rounding out your top 5. Who will get the win? We will be back green this time in the restart zone. Once the Page truck gets off the track, this time by the pits. Green flag is out. Holloway in the lead. 3 laps to go. As long as they get the white flag, no more cautions can come out. turns to go. Holloway on the outside line. Getting it to roll, and another caution out. Yates that time practically picked up off the ground. Slammed into the wall. A few other drivers caught in that. A lot of drivers tried to avoid it and did a good job at it too. Now we go to overtime. Most likely going to see a lot of guys go back in that were involved in that caution. Holloway gonna still be your leader. Hurt, Hancock, Gibson, and Riddle all in your top 5 now. Will this be the time? Will we see a winner here? Choose cone this time by 11th caution of the night. "33 laps of pacing in total. 16 lead changes as we are in overtime. Nearing almost half the race under caution. Not too... I feel like this was a little bit better than last week's race. I feel like they got up into the 40s. It was 43 laps under pacing. So a big improvement from the week previous. Now back in the restart zone this time by. We're going back green. Green flag out. Holloway with a good run. 2 laps to go. Hit the white flag, and that's all she wrote. Seems like everybody's scared in the back end to get up there and moving. Here's where the aggression's going to come out. A lot of moves going to be made, some possibly reckless. White flag out now. No caution. Can come out again. Daniel Holloway is in the lead. Hurt in second. Hancock in third. Gibson in fourth. Morrill in fifth. Who's going to be able to take the win? Wrecking the back end of the field. Holloway still has the advantage on the outside. Not much longer. Hancock in front now. Three wide for second. Nobody up there fighting for the lead. Hancock gets the win. Russ Hancock gets the win here tonight after a tough race indeed. About 38 laps under caution. But after an 18 position gain overall in the night, he was able to take away the victory at Talladega in the trucks. Of course, top 3 interviews coming from Gibson, Holloway, and Hancock, so don't go nowhere. All right, we're going to move on to interviews here. We're going to pull in our third place finisher, Mr. Gibson.
What's going on, Tyler?
Nothing much, man. So, I would say a little bit of a tough race here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, what it seemed like was just a lot of impatient maneuvers. Not really too many impatient maneuvers. It just seemed like, people thinking that they were fully clear, not really being all the way clear. Of course, tapping that rear fender and get you the loosest, the fastest. And I feel like that was where a lot of our wrecks came from tonight. Of course, fighting through a lot of the adversity for, 12 cautions. You were able to move up 7 positions from where you gridded in 10th and finish in the top 3. So how did the race go for you tonight?
I mean, it was pretty entertaining. I saw just about every part of the field. I feel like a lot of the race I was trying to stay towards the middle to the back, just riding around, trying to stay safe. But yeah, I just I got up front with some of my teammates there and was glad to get Russell the win, because, I mean, heck, he had been down 2 laps at one point, and to see him fight back is just a testament to this team and the adversity that we faced tonight. And it was a really good team effort tonight.
Now, of course, going into a track like this, there's really not much that you can kind of tell early on of how the ending is going to be. When do you feel like you kind of knew that the team was going to be able to pull off the win and, you get your third place finish?
Well, we had the front 2 rows locked down that final restart, so we were kind of able to control when we were going. That countdown could have been a little bit better from one person in particular, not naming any names, but love him still. But we ended up all getting in the file, and once the white flag came out, we all knew that it was going to be, between us for the win, and we weren't going to wreck each other, but we were going to race each other hard and clean. So
now, of course, now that we're done with the trucks, move on to Gen 4s. Feel like that might be a little bit more of a challenge than what we've seen so far here, due to the fact that not many people run Gen 4s consistently or run Gen 4s at all. How are you feeling about, the pace of racing next week going back into Daytona?
I feel like for the most part, we are going to have less just like drastic runs. Unlike how the trucks are, it's like you're just pushing a brick through a wind tunnel half the time. So it's like if you're the first car in line, I mean, you get so much drag put on your nose, and it's like you're just throwing out a parachute at that point. But the Gen 4s, it's a little harder for runs to come by. At least from our testing and recruiting. We we had some pretty clean racing. It was pretty fun. Side draft is still a factor, so you might still see some of those lines being snaky, kind of like how we saw tonight. But I'm excited. I love the Gen 4 car. Always have loved the Gen 4 car. Probably my favorite generation of car to drive. Everything about it. So I'm looking forward to the next 2 weeks. But yeah, I don't really have anything much else to say besides it's my favorite car.
And of course, before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your night, man, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give to anybody?
Yeah, Tyler, I appreciate you broadcasting and putting in a really just solid product out here for us, and just letting us, put on a show, whether it's good or bad. I'm glad you stick with us. So thank you for broadcasting. I'd like to thank Matthew Wilson, especially for letting us come over to ASCRL to join hands with y'all and the PlayStation guys that have come over, and just the great response from all our drivers. 30 car packs, 30 car fields every single week for the first 4 weeks of the season. It's just a huge blessing, man, and the community that we've built so far has been awesome. But I'd like to thank my teammates, Russell, Anthony, Daniel, Tyler, all the Candy Shack boys. It's been really fun driving with them and just shooting the crap with them, because I mean, half the time I feel like we're not even that serious when we are racing. We just like to do this because we like to have fun, how it should be. But yeah, thanks to them, and congrats again to Russell for the win. And yeah, thank you for broadcasting, and also friends and family watching at home. Hopefully y'all enjoy the show.
Well, congratulations on your third place finish tonight after what some would call a hectic race. You were able to put yourself in the right place at the right time, and you got out without a scratch, and of course a team win too. So congratulations to you tonight.
Appreciate it, Tyler. Thank you.
Thank you. That was our third place finisher, Mr. Dalton Gibson. Now moving on to second. That will be Daniel Holloway in the number 21. Daniel, you got me, boss? It's going good, man. How you doing? So, of course, you really didn't... You didn't have much trouble tonight, of course. Got the win taken away at the last second there. It was pretty close. Of course, still lost to a teammate, so the wound isn't that bad. It's just a little bit of a surface scratch. You qualified in 6th, finished in 2nd. How are you feeling about your race?
Next thing you know, coming out of Trioval, I didn't know where Austin Merrill came from, because I was like, oh snap, am I gonna lose, second, third, or something like that? He had a good run, so he was sneaky there. Congrats to Russ, boy. He just had a bad season start already, and 2 laps down that he was by stage, got those 2 laps the hard way. He just stayed out and just got lucky for the cautions and right time towards the end here. So, congrats, Russ, on the win.
Now, I kind of like to pick your brain a little bit. The trucks here are normally a pretty good, solid run. Of course, only 15 laps for gas runs you guys had. But overall, how did the trucks feel for you tonight?
The draft, I think it was a little bit different from tonight than last week, because the middle line was faster tonight than from last week. Still, the side draft was there. It was just a matter of getting a group of us to get going, pushing. I know one time in the middle of the race, I was in the back, but there was 4 of us that we were like nose to tail pushing each other, and we were gaining. The leader as far as I think we were like 3.5 seconds and stuff behind them, and we were gaining before that green flag pit stop, which was very cool. Wish we'll get more of those, but hey, we're still learning with each other. This Hershey Kisses truck, she was strong. Still getting lucky as far as wrecks. Avoided one in the grass to not get any damage and stuff, and right timing, right place towards the end.
Now, of course, we move to Gen 4s next week. Feel like some drivers don't have an advantage, some others might. Of course, Gen 4s really aren't ran much. How are you feeling about moving to the Gen 4s next week?
Oh yeah, I like those cars. I don't have any issues. The pushing is going to be a little bit different on those cars than you would do with the next gen and the trucks. So it's going to be more patient as far as pushing and hitting at the right time, because on those ones, the front end and the rear bumper don't line up very well. But I like those cars. That's still one of my good ones.
Of course, before we let you go, man, we're always going to ask you if you have any shout-outs you'd like to give to anybody.
Yeah, shout out to Candy Shack, Tyler, Anthony / Todd. We like to pick on him. Russ again on the win. Dalton for top 3 there, and I did plan that restart where I jumped, a little bit earlier than what we expected, and all 4 of us got low. So, I won't call somebody's name out there either, but that planned out actually worked out good. So, and then everybody who's all watching and everything, and Dalton and all of them, putting on a race here, ASCRL League. I messed up last week, so I've been getting heckled with that one. So, and you, Tyler, up in the booth, you do a wonderful job. I love watching these races, and even not tonight races, but the other races that you do, and love watching.
Well, of course, congratulations on the second place finish here tonight. Definitely look forward to seeing what you're going to be able to do in the Gen 4 cars now that you have to get a little bit of redemption and try to go for a win next week.
Yeah, that's the goal, or top 5. So far so good, and it just keeping the car clean at the end. It's where it matters.
Well, hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week. Until then, you have a good one.
You too, and everybody have a good night. Oh yeah, I forgot to say thanks to wife. I know she's a fan watching it too.
There you go. Oh, almost sleeping on the couch tonight.
She's my lucky charm, so she does something for me, so then it gets me going.
Hey, I feel you there, man.
Have a good night.
You too, man. That was our second place finisher, Russ Hancock. Well, Daniel Holloway, I'm sorry. I was looking at Russ's name as I was about to pull him in here. There he is.
Yes,
Don't pull
sir.
him in here for me. Mr. Hancock. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You pulled it off after most probably thought you weren't going to be in contention for a win tonight. Of course,
I was
early on,
one of those people.
Early on, the race seemed a little bit hectic. A lot of cautions just due to missteps, of course, on drivers, and that's expected. But you were able to really avoid a lot of the situational damage that majority of people got, and were able to put yourself in victory lane when it mattered. How are you feeling about the race here tonight?
Oh man, I needed a finish like this. I've had a rough couple first 3 weeks we've been racing, and I mean just the team working together like we did tonight. It's a blessing.
Now, of course, the goal is always a win. Sometimes it doesn't come out like that. Tonight was definitely your night when it mattered. How do you feel like this momentum is going to pull you for the rest of the season until playoffs now?
Man, I'm hoping not only myself but the team all together can keep this momentum going, working together as well as we have been. Just I hope we can keep this up. It's been a good start to the season for our team.
Oh, good start indeed. You guys have been pulling wins out of the hat consistently so far. Claiming another one here tonight. First time in victory lane for yourself. Do you feel like you'll have another opportunity? Of course, Super Speedway League, it's a lottery track every week. But do you feel like, you'll have another opportunity to put yourself in victory lane? If so, what week and what car do you think that will be?
I feel like I can stay up there and get another win. I myself, I like the trucks and I like Talladega. Talladega is my favorite track. I'm the most comfortable on it, and that's I'd like to see that again.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, this is the last time we're going to touch the trucks for about 7 weeks. Next time we go to the trucks, it will be in playoffs for Daytona, if I'm not mistaken. So,
well, I hope we're not counting on the truck getting me into the victory lane then.
if you had to choose between what we have left on schedule generation-wise, do you feel like you'll be able to do it in the Gen 4 or the Xfinity car, or you feel like, might have to go back for Daytona in the trucks?
I mean, the Xfinity car, I'm comfortable running that one, so I think I stand a chance with that.
Now, of course, Gen 6 also on the table as well. Not too familiar, with majority of the guys in here, as this is, everybody's first year together. How do you feel like the generational switches kind of will change the pace of racing? Of course, we've already seen the next gens. Then we went to trucks now. We still have Gen 4 Xfinity and Gen 6 before we even touch playoffs, where we kind of go back to the same familiarity of specific specific cars we've already ran here. Do you feel like there's going to be a little bit of a difference from some of the performance we've seen from some guys when we move for the next 6 weeks between 3 generations?
I do think so. I think everybody has a car that fits them better than one of the others. And I mean, it's just the ones that you get comfortable pushing when you're drafting. Getting pushed, you've got to be comfortable in the car, and if you're not comfortable, it's hard to run a race and do well.
Now, I kind of want to take me through how you felt, the gas cycling. Do you feel like it affected the race? Of course, only about 15 laps of gas, and you're probably able to manage maybe 3 to 4 in the back in draft. Do you feel like that kind of put a lot more pressure on some of the guys here tonight, which could have possibly caused a little bit more wrecks, or do you feel like that wasn't the situation?
I don't think it played into the wrecks that much. I think it was more patience that played into it and situational awareness. A lot of damage was caused even after the cautions. So that caught me a couple times early where I had slowed down and had the wrecks avoided, and the whole back of my car got chewed up because somebody didn't notice that everybody else was stopping.
About running out of questions here, man. I think I've asked you everything I need. I'm trying to think of another one for you before we ask you the last burning question everybody loves to answer. Now that the team has found victory multiple times so far this season, Do you feel like at this point it's really just trying to get everybody else into the playoffs comfortably with a win, or are you guys still going to be battling it out each week?
We're going to still battle it out each week. Everybody on this team wants wins, and everybody on this team is very capable of picking up wins. So we have a great, strong group that we're running here. So I think everybody stands a great chance throughout this season.
Now, of course, the last burning question in my mind that I know for sure what I'm going to ask. Do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give to anybody?
ASCRL for putting this on with Dalton. He's done a great job. Of course, my teammates, everybody in the Candy Shack Racing group. I got to give a shout-out to them. And then also you. Thank you for putting on these broadcasts and doing such a great job. And we love the interviews and love listening to it and watching the races. And we really appreciate you doing that.
Well, of course, we appreciate you here as well. Thank you for showing up this week because you got your win. Congratulations on your win. Definitely look forward to seeing how this momentum is going to pull you further in the rest of the regular season and then definitely into the playoffs. Team is on one right now, and I don't feel like there is anything that's going to be able to stop you guys anytime soon.
That's what we're hoping for. We've got a strong group.
Well, hopefully we're talking to you again up here within the next few weeks, man.
Yes, sir, and I'll try to come up with a little more to talk to you about. How about that?
Likewise. You
Well,
have a good
I
one.
appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you again.
Yeah, no problem. That was our race winner, good old Russ Hancock. Now, looking back here, showing you your official results at this point in time. Hancock takes the win. Holloway finishes in a close second. Would have had the win, but the teammates said he had the momentum, so I'm going to go get it. You heard him tell him, if you guys got to run, don't sit behind me. Try to go get it. Dalton Gibson finishes in third. Tyler Hurt finishes in fourth. Merrill finishes in fifth. Horst in sixth. Brandon Matthews in seventh. Rodman in eighth. Corey Rainey in ninth. And Sam Taylor rounding out your top 10. Was a crazy race here tonight. Of course, that's what you expect at a track like this. 11 cautions for 33 laps overall. We went into overtime. 107 laps ran. Of course, we have also had, is in the way, 16 lead changes. An insane race here for 100 laps, and we go back next week with the Gen 4 cars back to Talladega. On behalf of everybody at American Stock Car Racing Leagues and the Super Speedway Series for American Stock Car Racing League, we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for hanging with us. And make sure you pop in and check me out. We go live multiple times a week. Of course, Monday for American Stock Car Racing League. Right time on Wednesdays for the ARCA Series. And on Thursdays for the inaugural Truck Series. NARIS Truck Series on Fridays. We are off this week, so don't tune in. We're off the next 2 weeks there. And then we will be in Gen 6 Cup cars this week anyway. So make sure to check us out when you seem fit. If you haven't dropped the follow, we definitely look forward to seeing you guys next time. Until then, you guys have a good night.